development for Radio Democracy, Kabia the report.
The program na midday show will come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. And as I promised you earlier, inside the program later on, we get forget the Mayor of Freetown, our worship, Yvonne Akisoya. We get for the with in guest. We come Salone from the C40 cities. We now Mr. Hastings Chikoko in good day. But before we come to them, let's just take this one more material, and after that we can get all for talk with the Mayor inside the program. Some workmen them na the standard bill don't strike because them say they not get better condition of service, vehicle and other thing them for do them work according to them. Then puts the standard bill in work go bien. Well, we reporter Usman Kamara gets more on this issue and he go now report.
Tuesday morning, Radio Democracy may get information say some workmen them na the standards bureau been strike. We make a reach na the office na Ferry Junction. And when I reach, this na me the exact atmosphere. Inside this strike, there work Miami old placard. We say poor condition of service and other one them. We make Ami talk to some of them for no more but this strike.
We, the staffs then as Sierra Leone Standards Bureau, they on strike because we get issues with the condition of service. And also, we working tools them, they're not appropriate in this place here, so they will not get the working tools they will need for make we be able to perform our job. So why may government pay attention to we, so that we have go able to deliver ourselves to the public and do we works them very well.
We don't try for call on the attentions of the high authorities for a very long time. Up to this moment, nobody seems to understand what we go to. Like me, I'm speaking, I've been in a probation salary for 3 years now. They don't even know if we work. We don't get no organogram, we don't get structures, we don't get... So waiting concern Naya is, one, work in a condition. Two, the resources for how we do the job, they are not available for you, but you cannot do for good for your job.
The workman there continue say, better structure not in at the standards bureau and all the work focus per one person, we na in at the head and save, that's don't be problem over the past year.
You know, go appoint somebody as a director, you know, they get the resources for make you do the job as a director. So if we cry for this, we not say we go against anybody, but we go against this condition, the system where they go, you know, they work well. When a graduates come on from Bay College or Jala, they need for look like somebody who graduated, somebody where they serve this country, because we regulate standards of how the life of the people should be. So if we they do that one day, we'll not get anybody we care about. There is no deputy manager, there is no senior scientific officer. Everybody then just central the job to one person. If the manager travel, we all go begin to turn the look at we say, who are they act, who are they this.
After then concern from then different workmaya, I be talk to the chief executive officer for Standards Bureau, Thomas Yoma. We say he are aware of the challenge them. We workman they get na the Standards Bureau, but say they work now with the Ministry of Trade for addressing the issue. Yeah.
These matters have been on the table for some time. Action is being taken. It's not immediate. I understand their frustration, but they need to be patient a little bit more. Action is being taken on their matter. I highlighted the poor conditions of service in that letter a year ago. I highlighted the dearth of the tools of trade, that the things that make them work. These are issues. They should learn to be patient. It takes time, do things, you get the result at the end of the day. The people at the ministry are listening, leaders, and they are going to, in fact, right now they are prepared to go and meet us and talk to us. Their concerns are genuine, that I can say for sure.
Thomas Yoma end up calling workman them na the Standards Bureau for continue for work. So say they address them concern them. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mina Usman Kamara, the report.
Well, that's been Radio Democracy. Usman Kamara being put the report together. Usai workman na the Standard Bureau being said and go on strike because of condition of service and other things they wouldn't use work. The program na midday show they come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM, and as I've been promised you, I get two guests them inside the program, and the one na her worship, the Mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya. Good afternoon and welcome to the program, Mayor.
Good afternoon, Samuel. I'm glad you were there. Good afternoon, listeners.
And also we get another guest we the inside the program. We come out from the C40 cities. We now Mr. Hastings Chikoko. I get them right? Is that right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome, Mr. Hastings Chikoko. Well, now me two guests in this will get inside the program today, and today we can talk about the C40, we now a network of cities them where they for look at climate change mitigation and other things them. But first of all, I'll come to you, Mr. Hastings Chikoko. For listeners out there who don't know about C40, could you please give us a brief about the C40 cities?
Thank you so much, and good afternoon to all listeners. Seafood is a group of mega cities and innovative cities of the world that have decided to come together to actually address the challenge of climate change. So we look at really big cities with a population of 3 million and above as part of this group. But we also have a category that we call Innovator City category. In this category, we admit very few small cities that actually have demonstrated commitment, innovation, and are taking the first steps towards really addressing climate change. And Freetown has just been admitted into that category of innovator cities, recognizing what Freetown is doing. But the main thing is really to have cities provide leadership in addressing the climate change challenge.
Well, I think so. With that, I will say congratulations to you, Mayor, as you don't get this achievement. Now I come to you, Mayor. What does this mean for the Freetown municipality? For let you municipality get this recognition also accepted into the C40?
Okay, I mean, thank you, Samuel. I mean a lot, because it confirms, say, transform Freetown, when we plan, where C40s and look, then hear reports, then been the track 'em. It means, say, really, we've been there we do the right thing. Because when I know, say, listeners, Fritonians always hear mayor, they talk about climate change. Why can they talk about the environment? Why can they talk about sanitation? You know, I can say we get for protect the environment, and we get for guard against climate change. So for let outside organization, where as it's saying a unique club of mega cities, we not qualify based on we size. For let them look and say, it's a waiting and you do na Freetown, this is good. Oh, we invite them for can be a part. And inside C40 cities, not only 2 cities, them now 12 cities in Africa. Of them 12, then are including we now, we say remember, but of them 12, not only 2 they in this special category of innovator cities. We and the capital of South Africa, we're in Pretoria, we're now in the call Swanee. So really, if you consider that kind of a country day, then you consider we, you know, really a big achievement. And I'm very grateful to all the team, na City Council, to the residents of Freetown, because now we all work together, all we stakeholders, for let we able for the dinner today. And as Hastings say, now last month on the 14th of October, they invite me for go Denmark, Copenhagen, for the global summit of mayors, when I did and make the announcement. And I'm here for wait, because I'm here for get a board meeting, you know, man has all been in courts, but I gladly say, I mean, they tell me saying a unanimous decision, and Freetown was admitted as the newest member of C40 cities.
Well, once more again, congratulations to you for your good work. At least the good work we don't do all this time shows they say they pay. I come to you back, Mr. Essence. Now, Freetown has become a member of the C40 cities, and according to background, it's because of the work you've been tracking for Freetown. That's why you accepted us to be part of your network. And now, what are some of the benefits that Freetown has to get being a member of the C40s, and as one of the 2 countries in Africa to be among the innovative cities?
That's a very good question. Yes, so C40 supports cities to do better in addressing climate change, and we offer that support in a number of ways. First of all, we believe that the best advice a city official or a mayor can get is from another mayor, another city official that has already solved the problem. So C40 is like a platform where Freetown will have access to 94 other cities globally that are addressing climate change and check what solutions do they have on the ground. And using C40, they will be supported to connect with those cities, to visit those cities, to be able to be in a workshop with those cities to understand how they are doing their work, and also Freetown sharing how they are doing their work and exchange ideas. That's the first. So peer-to-peer learning is key here. Second, of course, we do offer technical assistance. So for C40 to do better, they need skills in some aspects of climate change, and through C40 they will get some training, the officials, and also where necessary, maybe they may need some studies and they need experts to do some studies on specific issues. C40 can provide that support to Freetown. And sometimes African cities, they don't have adequate staff to deal with issues. We have a program where we can also provide some staff for a period, a number of years. Right now we are providing for 3 years to just support the city in climate action. Then finally is the issue of funding, finance. So we have C40 Cities Finance Facility and another program called Financing Sustainable Cities Initiative, where we try to look at ideas that cities have that need money and try to work with the cities to develop really bankable proposals or bankable projects that we take to funders and mobilize resources. So those are some of the things that Freetown will be able to access.
Wow, I think this is a big package for Freetown, and I see so much smile from the mayor with all these things coming in for the so much work and effort you've put on this mitigation issue. Every now and then, every Saturday, Mayor will be out at least 6 a.m. to make sure everything happens. Now, Mayor, with all the things they already come, and as I just mentioned, with the efforts we don't put, waiting now some of the things they now, because they can say within the send what's you back, you save go for the cover. Now the opportunities there, you don't fight for them, you don't get them. So now how best Freetown City Council will make sure say they utilize this opportunity for make we able at least reach the point where we're gonna see climate change and mitigation flooding will be a thing of the past at this city.
Okay, so thank you, Samuel. The first thing I want to say is you said don't talk about the mitigation. So I'm just want to let listeners then know some of the things that way C40 then look, say, they want to then they move. So that flood mitigation, that plan will begin as soon as I came into office last year. Yeah. We then see how we actually then call climate adaptation. Because of the heavy rain, you look and you say, what's in the cause the problem? Then you find a way for systematically address the problem. Where we mean, say, over this last 2 years, the flooding incidents, that kind of a big losses we're going to get, we not see them. Even 2018, we not get no flooding. 2019, even though we been get the 2nd of August and the 15th of August, those 2 days, where on the 15th, on the 2nd, it was 176 millimeters of rain in 3 hours. It was extraordinary. But yet still, because of the work we don't go before, the impact be much less than it may be otherwise. Then you take power sanitation, we clean the zone competition. Now something we really don't make headline. Find me in freetown.com. The work we do for match the waste providers them, we will invest in then tricycles. You make sure say even lower income person able to forget whether they can collect in dirty. Then the fact say we don't explain the whole process for sanitation. We not do everything at all, but we get the plan. We're there in now. We don't get the funding, and the work to go on in the background for the landfill, for letting dump sites, for let King Tom. Where even just last week, if you see the smoke with the commodity, you know you had the well. But until we're able for actualize that plan, where we don't get the funding from DFID for, we then DAPA now for do the design, whereby God in power by end of next year, we don't see that structure they happen. Without dump site, then there could be an engineered landfill. Then we look Kisi, where instead of another major problem, where all this, as Hastings say, Mr. Chikoko say, that air quality, you know, the kind of smoke where they come out, they will get the what they call methane. Now, bad thing. But we just get for work through the plan, but we don't get World Bank funding, and that one day we did look for close them, and we did look for create, waiting and call a waste park, Now, Ward C, where we work in collaboration with Ward C. So all this work we don't do, nine they look say, nobody not come, can say we can be your partner, but una just decide say this now your priority. Well, since now we on priority back, we can't help you. So how we gonna make sure say we know let's decide down. One of the things the way sometimes Mr. Chico will tell you, when me self be know but I not be understand too much until we cancel, is that then they monitor we every 6 months. Then get for score we every 6 months. If inside that 6 months we fail for do, wait till we don't commit for do, then they give you like a warning period. After 1 year, if you not meet up, then they pull you there. All them benefit their way say then we go lost some. So we at council, we don't get series of meetings when we come. We start first thing yesterday morning. We don't meet with the councillors, we don't meet with the core staff, we don't set up a working group at the council, we don't meet with the Minister of Environment this morning, we don't meet with the Minister of Local Government this morning. So we really don't make sure say everybody fully aware of we own responsibility so that we go able to make the best of it. Usai we want for use all of this resource. Well, then we give you the opportunity for let we choose with priority areas. And I will just touch on 3 of them because we can choose 7. But we just, the 3 where I mention is the cable car, this question of green transport. Because if you talk about emission, that bad gas, usa it come out na Freetown, for in a 2 place. The dump site, when a major source, we all down the see what you already go up, and down in a methane, we're very bad. So we don't already get support from DFID and World Bank for address that one day. So the other side, we say you get a lot of bad gas, bad emission, not transport. Where you look on average, you see with vehicles on the road. Some vehicles sometimes it go big. So they don't pass 25 years, Seth.
No, what they again?
But that smoke, that black smoke where they come out, even the time they see the black smoke, that carbon where they come out, carbon monoxide, is very bad for our health and it's bad for the environment. So how we go able for reduce the congestion on the roads and able for let we get better health. Because they breathe that boku bad smoke. Now we come say, well, let me look into a clean form of mass transit where you move so many people at the same time. It's good for the environment, but also good for business. It also generates jobs because the time we person go take 1.5 hours the travel, you able to do them in 30 minutes. That's outside you go walk. You get more where you go able for do. The place not a choke. You able to make more investment. Even the value of the land in that area, they have to go up. So that's something very positive, and you'd be more productive in the workplace without they have the help with the economy. So na day we put we yai for say na we want let's see 40s partner with we on the cable car. Where now the system where we done the work on for the last 6 months, and now we don't able for say okay, C40 like when council, we will already begin to talk to various organizations. Over say we not talk to anybody at all. We there on them. We actually there in that process with pre-feasibility to work with other donors and funders. But since we now get a special position as a member of C40 and we get a special commitment from the organization say waiting at your priority for climate, we can back you on now this we don't put at the table. With then the other one that's stormwater drainage. So if we don't do flood mitigation, say flood mitigation, you try to make the best of a bad situation. Gutter we don't small, gutter way don't broke. Side gutter no day. Water side way for be clear. Now day we go and try for improve them. But with C40 now, we put us with other priority for let we able forget stormwater drainage, let we able forget proper drains them. Side then hillsides that we not get. And then even usai water side day. We don't you can see some water side. This morning I take notice of if you did go along Jomo Kenyatta Road, that water where you go by Pike Street, na Pike Street today by Special Court. If you look, you go see say silt. Don't get her. So you don't really see water. It's the same by Juba Bridge, that Lumley Peace Bridge. I call the Peace Bridge, where if you want for come out the Lumley go Juba Bridge, yes,
yeah.
Wallace Johnson Bridge, if you notice day back, you go see say so much build up. So being able for clear the natural waterways as well as for put in more drainage, because the rain get for come, the climate change it don't be. Now you see flooding. I don't know if you've been seeing Samuel. Then flooding in Italy. That's why when they call Venice.
Yeah,
Big
Venice,
tourist
yeah.
place. It's underwater. Same thing they happen in England. All over the world, the climate change don't happen. Now how you adapt? Because if you get that kind of disaster, but you not get the infrastructure, the impact on you, it'll be far worse than in then developing countries. So now day we want put we pan the urban planning, pan the stormwater, and then for let them continue for back we up, pan the good work we don't do on the sanitation side.
Okay, plenty thank you, Mayor. You don't give a background, but how on self get for make use of the C40. I come to Mr. Hastings. So far, you've been in town, I think, since yesterday, and you've moved around a little bit, even though you've not seen all. Are you impressed so far with the work of the Freetown City Council?
Yes, there are some things that I have seen that are really encouraging, and we want to see Freetown doing more of that. There are some areas that we need to improve. So I just to be on to look at some of the things that have encouraged me. I would single out the unclogging of stormwater drainage. You know, we do have some infrastructure in African cities, but it's buried just because we don't manage erosion. So the soil comes and bury that. So it's good to see that an African city is saying, look, before we invest in new infrastructure, let's first of all see what we already have and dig up the stormwater drainage and make it functional. I was encouraged, and I think that's what other African cities need to come and learn, because we're always going begging for money for new infrastructure when we are not taking care of the infrastructure that we have. So that's number one. And of course, I also was able to look at the work on solid waste management. Waste management is a collective responsibility. It's not just the mayor or the city official or the waste companies that are involved. So we need to mobilize the citizens who actually produce the waste to actually take action themselves. I was also impressed to see the Clean Zone campaign activating citizens to actually say, we're going to make our neighborhood clean. That to me is very encouraging, because then we are creating urban residents, city residents that are responsible, that will not just sit and wait for the mayor, sit and wait for the city to clean my neighborhood. That I think Freetown should show other cities, inspire other cities. So good things. And one thing that I want to emphasize that has encouraged me about Freetown, and that's the spirit that as Africa we need to embrace, is we are moving from a phase where we have looked for support outside based on sympathy. So we want to go there crying, we are struggling, help us. What C40 has seen in Freetown is basically going out there and demonstrate potential. To say, yes, we have problems in Freetown, but we have put our thinking together, and we have a program, a strategy, an agenda of action, and we are already taken, within the little that we have already taken some steps. So we are going there not to mourn and cry. You're going out there to demonstrate that we are committed to do something. Africa should begin to show that to the world. People should look at Africa and invest in Africa, not investing in tears, not investing out of pity or sympathy, but investing in the potential commitment and drive that they see to say we can do something there.
Mayor, I think with all within Mr. Hastings do already see, I think say one other important question why I go pose to you right now. With all the good things there, so we you don't see about the city and about the impression. Now, within na Freetown City Councils now, because for get them good things there so now one thing, but for maintain them. Within are some of you plans them we don't get now for make sure see then thing there so you improve on them and then you also continue for make sure see Freetown always be that country where other cities them go learn for, because as Mr. Hastings earlier say, this now network for make cities in the land from the company. You don't begin mention some of the things that we impress about. So for make we continue waiting at some of you say your plans and now for make sure see we continue for be a role model inside C40.
Okay, so I think one thing I can always say is systems and processes. Systems and processes. What does that mean? It come back to the point where Hastings just end on, where you say, you able go forward with a plan. Now, for make plans and be implemented as a one-off is one thing, but if you build a system, then you can know say this is something where they go on constantly. So, for example, let me take the street sweeping where it happen. We get a system where we don't design and we fine tune them constantly. Through the counselors, we engage 520 odd women every 3 to 6 months. But we get a monitoring team. We get 2 people where they move on motorbikes, and big thank you to EU for giving them motorbike, not EU, IOM for giving them motorbikes. Where they move, then get a document, then get a database. They know who that for day on whose street at what time. So on a daily basis, their own job now for go do spot check, for take signatures or thumbprints as the case may be, for monitor say the work to be done. And this is not just one example. Even when it comes to the tricycles them where council gets, because we get 7, when then the empty then street bins them where we put out. So if I tell you say now I get a database where give me 83 bins. I know whose streets then they. I know whose one then don't pull the domot span. I know whose one not be cleaned. And somebody they with the monitor down there. So I go able for check them every week and say, what's the status of this? What's the status of down there? Systems. Systems means say, number one, you get for get data. You get for know waiting supposed for to happen. And then you get for the report on waiting to happen. Number 2, you get forget dedicated personnel when that person they in job. Where you not get them, where you not get them basics them. Then number 3, you get forget a program of checking and reporting. So it's not enough for just saying that this for B. You need for know who that they check them. Then you need for know who that they report on them so that action can be taken. So in answer to your question, how will this sustain? We did sustain by building in systems to everything we would do. We just don't put in a system now for, and I even talk about the liquid waste management. Right now, if you go to King Tom, you go see, say, with the support of Diffid Goal and Walid Bassoun will make a own contribution as an individual. You go see, say, we don't put in a geotube system. We go talk more about that next week because I will go there with media, let people then see for themselves. For the first time, we go treat liquid waste. That thing where in the pool now you set spit. When now it go directly to the ocean with no treatment, we begin treat them. But even something like that, for let we make sure say that information day, when the trucks them, for let we manage the system, you need for make sure say you the able for the revenue they generate, you're able to keep eyes on them. So we now get a system where the metro, now the dump site, then they take note of every vacuum truck operator we come, the license number, then we go able to reconcile the money we don't come in. Then we also go make sure say that information that you get something at the council when an own job self for check who they don't pay against how many trips they don't make. So at every single level of council operations, we bring in systems. we bring in monitoring, and we bring in digitization. In other words, we not need they have them paper where you can't go back and check easily. You know, we get for dispense of that. We put everything now onto computers. So it's a lot of work, and we not expect say it will be done in the next 2 months, 3 months, but you take one area at a time and you deep dive